Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Thursday. Happy almost Friday. Happy almost Hot Messy Topics Day. Listen, happy just getting our shit together because it is going to be one hell of a weekend and I'm excited for it. So, before we jump into all of the shenanigans, as always, no pun intended. Make sure you guys go ahead and smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. We are back to talk about Summer House's Carl and Lindsay. This is like the gift that doesn't stop giving. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was not ever a big, huge Summer House fan until this scandal happened. But of course, just like people were not fans of Vanderpump Rules, now it's like you got our attention. We got to watch it. So that's exactly what we're doing. But before we jump in, go ahead, do all of the YouTube things, smash that like button, show some love, and let's jump right in.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
All right, guys. So first, we have to start with Summer House. Thank you to Reality Blurb. Lindsay Hubbard was not happy to hear that Carl Radke needed more of her support on last week's episode of Summer House. Now, after Carl opened up to Lindsay telling his now ex-fiance about his career plans, Lindsay admitted to feeling a lack of support from her then partner, accusing him of expecting more from her than he was willing to give, as Gabby Prescott criticized him for not providing ahead of what would have been their November 2023 wedding. This is bullshit. I'm not being seen. You're not validating me and all the things that I do in this relationship for you, for me, for us. And now you're telling me I need to put a smile on my face and say, it's okay, sweetie. I'm here for you no matter what. No, that's what Lindsay proclaimed on May 16th episode of the Summer House After Show. How about you do that for me? Where were you when I was upset? Night one, and I was like, I need support. Where was your support? And now you're telling me constantly you need more and more support. This is crazy. How much more can I give of myself to you? Now, meanwhile, according to Carl, all he really needed from Lindsay was some acceptance and excitement at a time when he was questioning his path forward. We're talking about career. We're talking about opportunities and finances. And I shared I'm nervous about this next step. I'm scared. I'm not sure because of wanting her acceptance and excitement. Now, at the start of the conversation, Carl said that he tried to prepare Lindsay for the discussion by encouraging her to be a little gentler, softer, and excited and positive since he's sensitive about the topic. What I had experienced with her, she would the sober bar idea, sure, it may not be the best idea, but she immediately is like, horrible idea. Now, in response, Kyle Cook pointed out the ideas Carl had run by Lindsay weren't fully baked. So before you immediately shoot them down, hear me out. Maybe a little softer with your feedback, he stated, as Amanda Batola agreed Lindsay should have been kinder. You can still be direct and honest and still take a softer approach to it and be thoughtful and kind with your words. Just because you're direct and honest doesn't give you the right to act very rude and absurdly, is what she explained. But Gabby felt differently, shaming Carl for not stepping up. For her to be softer, requesting her to be softer when she has actually, has to actually build a life because you are lacking in that is fucking bullshit. He has no concept of what it means when he's asking her to be soft when he's not providing. But during another segment, Lindsay and Carl look back on their dispute over driving separately to the Hamptons. This is the first time I've actually been hanging out with you as friends and also in a relationship, and I'm not driving back to the Hamptons to New York City. And if I'm not riding with you, I think it would warrant a conversation of why. Carl stated she wasn't considering anything outside of her own self. And it was also, I found, to be very disrespectful for her not to go, babe, I need some space. Do you mind taking the bags back? I'll catch up with you a bit later. Now, after noting that he believes that if the roles were reversed, Lindsay, sorry, I was going to say Lisa, would have had a major issue with the decision, Carl applauded Kyle and Amanda for remaining united, even in uncomfortable events. Even the day on his birthday that Lindsay set Kyle up to tell him about shit that he didn't know about, Kyle and Amanda rode home together that day. They still got in the car and rode home together. While Gabby called out Carl for being petty and down and dirty, Lindsay told him to be a man. Now, although the now ex-couple, they were at odds, obviously, over their driving arrangements, Carl still wanted Lindsay to go home with him to a soccer game that he had tickets for. I thought in my eyes that it could be like a fun date. I get tickets to this soccer game that we get VIP on the field, free drinks, free food. It's an amazing experience. And she kind of said, I'm not sure. And then come the weekend, we were fighting, and she was like, fuck your fucking soccer game. I'm like, not only do I not want to go to a soccer game with you because you put me through 2 full days of absolute hell, but I don't even want to ride home with you. I need a fucking minute, is what Lindsay explained, noting that Carl only wanted her at the game because he needed somebody of equal status to go to the soccer game as an influencer. After attending the game solo, Carl said it was a great time before admitting things between him and Lindsay remained strained. I had a great time. I was free. I got home that night, tried to talk with Lindsay. We fought, slept in separate bedrooms. That was a pivotal moment that I feel like in the summer where I was just like, I have questions about this relationship. I don't think that honestly, they both kind of sound like assholes to each other. I'm going to say that. But we're not done. We're not done. Okay. Lindsay Hubbard also opened up about her new boyfriend on a podcast on Monday, sharing how she met and revealing if he's seen Summer House. She also addressed the claims regarding Carl Radke's $70,000 brand deals and looked back at how he blindsided her late last August by calling off their engagement. Opened up about their most activated off-camera moment, which occurred just weeks after her and Carl's breakup. He's wonderful. That's what Lindsay said of her mystery boyfriend on the May 21st episode of Bitch Bible. I actually met him and went out with him 3.5 years ago in New York. Some of my friends called it a boomerang, where you go out the first time, the timing wasn't right, and then they come back around. So that's basically what happened. But according to Lindsay, she and her boyfriend met during COVID and hit it off and went on some dates before realizing that their romance wasn't meant to be, at least not yet. He was trying to figure out his career moves, and it was just bad timing for him. It was also holidays. It was bad timing for me. I was in a weird place at that time. And so he broke things off with me, but he did it in such a respectful way. Like, I went back and I was like, let me see what this guy said. It was the nicest text ever, because most guys just ghost you or fade away or disappear or whatever. He did none of that. Back then, he was like, hey, I'm not in a place where I can be anything serious. And he's like, I get the sense that like maybe you're wanting something more. And he's like, I'm not there right now, and I don't want to waste your time. And out of respect for you, I feel like I needed to tell you that. But fast forward to December of 2023, months after Lindsay split from Carl after he reached back out. However, Lindsay didn't want to jump the gun, instead putting him on the ice for about a month. She said, I reached back out in January and I was like, all right, coffee. And we wound up at lunch. And I feel like that lunch was catching up on the last 3 years of our lives. But as for whether he sees the show, Lindsay said he's never watched. It's actually really refreshing. I've had the alternative. It was always something that I had to be a little bit wary of dating when I was single, because it was like, are their intentions right? Are they just trying to land the girl from Summer House and get laid and go brag it to their friends? Is it because they want something out of it, like camera time? I'm pretty much done with these reality boys. So it's refreshing that my dude now is just unfazed by it. He's like, respect to you and what you do, but he doesn't care about it. Now, luckily for Lindsay, who complained about Carl's lack of mojo throughout the season 8, her new man is focused on his career, not the cameras. He's successful in his own field and has a great job, works very hard, and he's extremely driven and ambitious. Okay. And yeah, he keeps me happy in the bedroom. As for Carl's claims of making $70,000 off paid posts, which were less than half of hers, Lindsay said the number was not accurate. When I saw that conversation play out, I was like, first of all, that's not true. He did not make 70. I couldn't believe that he disclosed that, but I was like, whatever. What I thought was more gross was that he was like, well, she made more because she's a woman. It's like, okay, well, do you know how many male dominating jobs there are in the world that women have to fight for to compete? Every other job in America, just let us have one. Now, while Carl suggested that Lindsay was making more because she's a woman, Lindsay set the record straight, saying, no, I make more because I'm driven and go out there and I push to make more. She then looked back at a deal that she secured for the two of them. There was a campaign that we had done for Dell where I was the one who created the whole vision, was the one who negotiated the whole thing, put the reel together, edited the reel, guided the whole thing, and then just basically asked him to be a collaborator. And that was like the biggest campaign that he did that year. But looking back at the breakup, Lindsay said it's been interesting to watch the relationship's demise play out on Summer House. I see a lot of things that I was not privy to this summer. And it really seems like watching the season, it really feels like he made the decision way sooner than I ever thought he did because it was very confusing to me. I'm like, what happened in the last 2 weeks? You were just at my bridal shower 2 weeks ago. Now you're calling off the wedding. And that was very confusing to me. But now I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, wow, he actually had these thoughts way earlier in the summer than just the last 2 weeks. Lindsay also felt that Carl was planting seeds and really, really trying to villainize her just to justify what he was going to later do. But regarding her most activated off screen moment, Lindsay said that it happened 3 weeks after Carl called off their engagement at the wedding and the wedding. I could not handle it. I felt rage like I've never felt before. He was like saying all of this crazy shit to me, trying to rewrite history, but also not taking accountability and just trying to almost convince me of dumb shit. I lost my voice within 5 minutes and I was like, get the fuck out of my face. So that was probably the most activated that I've gotten in the past year. Oh, yeah. All right. I want to hear what you guys think. So, guys, definitely pop off in the comment section. If you guys are not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Love you guys.